Bow your head, close your eyes. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for waking us up this morning and starting us on our way. We thank you for allowing us all to be here for this moment, Lord. I thank you for Momversations. I thank you for the platform and the vision that you've given me, Lord, to speak to your women. I thank you for the opportunity to be able to dedicate June to men, to give them the platform to speak and express themselves and get some of the things off their chest that they don't sometimes get to say, Lord. I ask that you be with Uncle Chris and I ask that what's said can resonate with someone and help someone in the world, Lord. I thank you for Uncle Chris. I thank you for his strength. I thank you for the man that he is, God. I thank you for my production team, Lord. I thank you for all of the guests that I will have in this month, Lord. I thank you for everything that you're doing in my life, what you haven't done, what you have done, and the things that you didn't let happen. We thank you and we love you and I appreciate you. In Jesus' mighty name I do pray. Thank God. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. What's milking, mamas? I am so excited to bring you guys something very special. I told you guys for the month of June, it wouldn't be about the moms. I would take the time to dedicate it to the dads, just because I feel like men have something to say also. Oftentimes, I feel like some men are silenced, whether it be how they were brought up, certain things that were instilled in them, or their own lives, direction or paths. So this month we'll have men on Momversations, and we'll call it Momversations X Dad Knows. My first guest, I had to bring some wisdom to the table. Today I am with Uncle Chris, a father of 2 sons and now a part of a blended family raising girls. His dad experience and his heart and perspectives are very wise. He brings a kind and grounded insight into being a dad and to teaching. From old school parenting to adapting to today's generation, Uncle Chris shows what fatherhood and manhood continues to look like and evolve into. I asked Uncle Chris to be on the show because, like I said, he is a seasoned vet out here. He is someone that has been remarkable in my life as far as men figures. He is Corey's uncle, but now he is my Uncle Chris. And yeah, I can't wait for you guys to hear all he has to say. So welcome, Uncle Chris.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, that was funny. That's an amazing man, Uncle Chris.
Okay, Uncle Chris. I have a few icebreakers just before we
Yeah.
get into everything. What's one thing fatherhood has taught you?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience. Yes, definitely.
What's one thing you want your kids to remember about you?
Patience. and why? Then the reason why I'm up here saying this because that's life. That's anything that you deal with, and even in a relationship that's not your kids, is patience. Is giving people the same empathy that you want them to give you. You know what I mean? When you don't understand it or you don't feel the same way.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part about parenting in one word?
Ooh, in one word. Hard.
It is.
Difficult. You want? I mean.
What do you feel is your dad's superpower?
Being able to listen to him. I can go there, but I'm usually level-headed. Just being able to listen to him, and like I said, that even go back to where I'm saying patience. You know what I mean? If they know that you're not gonna go crazy when it's something tough to tell you, then they'll tell you. When they think you're going crazy, you're not going to know.
Mm-hmm.
And to get backdoored on something with a child you want to protect is a bad thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. What's some advice that you would give or that you would find yourself giving your younger self or a younger man now?
Yeah. That is, it's not easy. You're never going to have the right answer. Even the right answer could be the wrong thing too for a child, because you can tell a child, "Hey, I need you to do this," and they do it, but it's not right for them. So what makes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a give and take. It's a learning thing. Back to, I'm sorry, I keep saying it though.
But
Be
patience.
patient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's hard with parenting too. And I mean,
Yeah.
I have 2 girls and you have 2 boys, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that. But being patient is hard.
Yeah.
It really
no.
is. You know.
Yeah.
And
with me saying it,
Yeah.
I have to
Ooh.
keep saying it to be patient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
especially, and I feel like raising your boys are older, my babies are younger, and the
Right.
generations and how they act and the certain
It's
things they do
totally
is
different.
totally different. You know. So having patience with younger kids is hard. So.
Yeah.
When you keep saying it, it's drilling in my head, Destiny, patience.
I know yours. So, you know.
Oh my gosh, especially the little one, huh?
Yeah.
Who was your dad role model growing up, or did you have to become that for someone else?
Mine, my Uncle Roland. I mean, he was everything to me. You know, he showed me every little thing that you need to learn from a man, because, you know, I don't want to steal what you want to ask me later, but I grew up with my parents divorced, so I didn't see my dad as much. So my Uncle Roland was.
So since we're talking about that, how was your upbringing?
I was born in Atlanta. My parents divorced when I was 4, and my mom moved to California, Inglewood, California.
I knew it.
Yeah.
He couldn't
you
go
know.
through this episode without saying it.
Well, I don't have to say it, but I mean, I love Inglewood. Look at it now.
Yeah.
Look how it's growing.
Changed so
You know,
much.
and I love that about it. You know what I mean? I love the greatness it's showing now. It's showing that it is a city of champions. You know.
Okay.
So,
Clock
but
it, no.
except for the Clippers, but I should
Oh,
say
my
that on here.
goodness.
But anyway, yeah. So Uncle Roland was that. He showed me something that gave me patience too. He showed me my love for golf. So you know what I mean. And to play golf, you got to be patient.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it was him.
Dang, my question slipped my head already. You said that your parents were divorced when you were a kid. Did you and your dad have a relationship at all?
Yes, we did. But it was every other summer kind of relationship. I lived with him for a year, but that was old when I got a little older. But my brother lived with him. But I don't feel I knew my dad till I was about 18. And it was near the end of his life, you know, so.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like that had a effect on you growing up?
Oh, it definitely did. It definitely did. It told me my sons would never feel
without you.
the way I felt at
Yeah.
times, you know, that my dad wasn't around, you know what I mean, or didn't pick up the phone and call. I had to call him a lot of times, so, you know, and I never really tell that kind of stuff about my dad. I just, you know, but to be honest, so yeah. So that was something I didn't want for my boys. And the bad thing about it is I traveled, you know, but
Yeah.
we can go there wherever. But yeah, so.
So did your dad, like you said, your dad not being there made you want to be there more for your kids?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Or they know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It makes a difference.
It definitely does. Every child deserves 2 parents.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
whether they're in the same house or not. So, yeah.
What's the biggest lesson your kids have taught you about manhood?
Oh, about manhood.
Before we get to that, let's let the people know how old your kids are, just so we can kind of get an understanding.
I'll tell you how old I am. Let me tell you. I'm 54. I'm finna be a double nickel. in November. So,
okay, woo woo.
but yeah, but I got my oldest son is 33. Then I have a 29, soon to be 30. No, he turned 30 in September. And I have stepdaughters. I have one that is, Kaya is 26. Anaya should be 24.
Parents never remember the
Tihani
kids.
is 22. Talia is 19.
We
And
getting there.
Zaria is 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
and that's from different relationships I've been in. And but the last 3 are in the relationship I'm in now.
So how is it parenting young women now versus you
it's
having
crazy. It's
boys?
crazy. I'm glad I got the first set, you know what I mean? First.
What do you feel is different?
How you have to be in the house with women as a male. You can ask all 5 of my stepdaughters. It's just, I'm an old school kind of dude. So you can ask all of them, have they ever been in that house and seen me undressed without a shirt on? I don't even wear a wife beater in the house with the girls.
So you have to
You
just
have
be
to
more
move
conscious.
a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I make them move a certain way with me. You know what I mean? You have to do that also as a male to protect yourself. You know what I mean? And from outsiders saying, oh my goodness, look how, she is around him, or you
Right.
do that kind of stuff. And I always did it, and that's why they're still my daughters. That's why they still come to me. That's why they still love me, because I present myself as a man, a strong man, but also, too, a man that they know they can get over on me, because I'm soft as cotton with the girls,
Yeah.
and I'm hard with my guys, so.
Are there any traditions from your childhood that you've carried into parenting?
Yeah, being tough on them. I mean, bust them in the head if you have to. Not in the head,
Right.
but in the head. Yeah. Except for the girls.
The girls get a pass, huh?
Yeah, girls get a pass. You just take the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it is
Something like
different
that.
because Corey is like that with the girls. He make me be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I get it,
The mama
especially.
should be the bad guy.
No,
with the
we
girls.
shouldn't.
You
That's
know
not
what
fair
I
to
mean?
us.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
sometimes women feel or look to their male,
Yeah.
husband, boyfriend, whatever, to be that because, like for me, my grandfather was my male figure in my
Right.
life,
Right.
and my granny could say, "Ooh, here he come," and I drop what I'm doing or get straight. But just
Right.
that male figure, I just feels brings a certain type of energy.
And we do.
Yeah.
We do. It's just not when you want it, the way you want it,
Yeah, I get a boys a hard time.
Well, you got to.
Now that you're helping to raise girls, what's been the biggest surprise or shift for you?
How fast they grow. How loving they are. You know what I mean? And then how cutthroat they are, too. They can cut you off in a minute, too. And turn in a minute. But it's fun. It's fun.
So what would you say the difference was raising boys, to now being in the house? with?
Raising boys, boys are kind of easy. They just dirty. You know what I mean? They're not going to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Girls, now, I'm not saying girls are going to be the cleanest or don't, mess up or anything like that. It's just a different kind of mess up. A boy might jump off the couch, bust his head. You know what I mean? A girl, if anything, she done scratched her leg on the door and we're going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. He the one that needs to go to the hospital because, but yeah.
So looking back, how do you think your childhood prepared or didn't prepare you for fatherhood?
I think it did. I had a strong mom, so you know what I mean? She taught me how to do for myself, how to fold my own stuff, how to, how to move. She showed me a lot, you know what I mean? And for her to be a entrepreneur, had her own business, so I saw how she hustled, how she would make, you know what I mean? She wasn't God, but I seen her make water into wine, you know what I mean? So, and do so much stuff, you know what I mean, that you'll be like, dang, I don't know how she did it by herself. You know what I mean? When other cousins might have had two parents and mom doing the same thing they doing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
She was. Love her. Love her. Dang, my question slipped my mind again, too. I was on the road.
You still on the road.
How do you think being raised by a woman made you into the man you are today?
I think it was the best. It taught me to be very respectful to women. To be, you know, you protect them. Is no violence. It's no anything like that. I didn't see it in my life. Mm-hmm. My mom didn't have a man that beat her. You know what I mean? And if that my dad did it, I can't say it because I was 4 years old. She was gone. Yeah. So you know what I mean? And any other guy that came in her life, which was only 2, I never saw that. So my mom didn't let me hit my sister.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that makes a difference? Huh? Do you think that makes a difference as far as
it definitely does.
What children see?
If you, oh, come on. Yeah. And you know, like I said, with my mom having her own business, she had a daycare center. So I saw them kids saw what they, you know, whatever they saw around there. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what you could see it in them. You know what I mean? They all came. A lot of great kids came through there. Yeah. You know.
Do you think your younger self will be proud of you?
Oh, definitely.
What is something that you would tell your younger self now that you are about to be 2 nickels?
Yeah, 2 nickels. It's gonna be okay later.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be okay later. But you know the obstacles you're going through as you get to the age. You know what I mean? Just stepping stones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just stepping stones.
Yeah. How did you overcome the challenges that you had as a child, or as being a new dad or becoming a dad? What's something that was hard for you that you look back on like, wow, I got through that?
Growing up in Inglewood. But, you know, that's where we can even go back to when I was saying about my dad getting a norm when I was 18. My dad gave me a tool that still benefits me to this day. He taught me communications. Mm-hmm. So once he taught me that, he showed me to get into the phone company. I worked for Pac-Bell. I did work for probably every cell phone company there is. I've worked in every state and some different countries. You know what I mean? So that was a tool he gave me that was beneficial forever. You know what I mean? I taught my sons that. You know, and nephews and, it's in the family, and cousins, and we got into other things. Yeah. So, you know, so where people get burned. It's not worked in a year.
It's not funny, but I'm glad that you can joke about it. You know what I mean? Because and for those that don't know, Uncle Chris, like he said, he does work in communications. He did have a bad accident last year.
But this was from because now my new thing is EV. I got into electric vehicles and battery maintenance, and a battery blew, and it burned me on my hands, and I had to have my leg grafted, and
sheesh.
Yes, and a year later, it'll be a year on the 12th of this month.
Thank God you're still here.
Yeah.
Getting that car, I was scared myself. I'm like, sheesh, what happened?
Yeah, so.
How has that been though? How are you mentally now? Because I know before it was.
Oh, it's still crazy.
Yeah.
It's still crazy. I haven't worked in a year either. I'm still trying to get back. I'm still getting more use of my hands and stuff, and getting the strength back. The color's coming back. I got 3 more surgeries on this hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, they just told me.
So what
Friday.
Are they trying to get all of the skin back?
No, it'll never get back to there. They're just trying to get it leveled. burned to where it's down to
not
where
rigid.
it's not no, little.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then some of my nerves in my hand. So yeah. Yeah. At 54.
Okay, I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
What advice would you give a young father today?
Okay, I'm not gonna say patience. That's part of it. But I would say embrace it. And don't just embrace what the child is going through, embrace what the mother is going through, and also express yourself what you're going through, because she needs to know what you're going
How
through
you
too.
feel too, yeah.
Because, like I said, as you get older, you start to learn that, like I said, that you got to have the same feeling you feel or how passionate you feel about anything. You got to think that other person feels that same way about their thing or their issue.
Right.
So you got to, you got to understand that. So a lot of times when you can understand that, whether you agree or disagree, you say, oh, okay, I'm up here riled up about this and wondering why you riled up about yours. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm passionate. You passionate.
Yeah.
We're passionate people.
I just feel like, and that's why I really wanted to dedicate June to men, because I know a lot of excellent men in my life, you
Yeah.
know, and when I started Momversations, they like, dang, can we come on in? I'm like, that really sparked something, because
Yeah.
you guys have something to say too.
Yes,
you
we
know,
do.
you are going through parenting just as well as women are, just in a different way, in a different light.
Yeah.
You know, and especially,
And we cry
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
getting it out is the most important though, because
Yeah.
holding
Yeah,
in.
but yeah, that's the whole thing. I'm glad you did it. We need our space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give y'all a little bit of my time.
But moms are great.
Yes.
They
Thank
really
you.
are. And you're great.
Oh, thank you. I try.
No, you're
I really
you're
do.
a really great parent.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. You're raising 2 great daughters.
Thank you.
Yes, you are.
So before we end, I'm gonna ask all the men that come on Momversations this month, what does Dad know?
Everything.
Oh my goodness.
Was that the wrong answer?
I mean, if that's how you feel, then that's your truth.
Well, you asked me and then you said, oh my goodness. I'm going to just ask you, is that the wrong answer?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Well, then
If that's what you
do
feel like Dad
believe it?
knows. Yeah, I know a little bit.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing. Men do know a lot, depending on the man, because I feel like a man's upbringing determines the type of man that he is.
He doesn't know everything. I'm just playing.
You said it, not me.
All right. Well, but 99.8%.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Okay. You have anything that you want to add or say, or anything you want to ask me?
Yeah. What, and as far as me being around you and seeing the growth that you're at now and everything, how did growing up, like you said, with your grandfather being that main staple, you know what I mean, show you about a man?
It showed me a lot, honestly. Every day I thank God for my grandfather, because he is literally a gem.
He is.
And I just, oh my goodness, my eyes are watering thinking about it, because he saved me, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every Saturday I went bowling. You know, I was at the bowling alley with him and his friends.
Active as a kid.
Yes, we
That's
went
important.
fishing.
That's important.
I've been on the lake with him, on the boat. You know what I mean?
Different
So
stuff.
I was a well-rounded young lady,
Yeah.
because I didn't just do the little dainty things, playing with my toys or my baby dolls. I cut grass with them.
Right.
But all in all, it just made me, or showed me, what a man should be in my life, or what role a man should play in a family. A lot of who I am is because of him, honestly. As far as what I tolerate from a man or what I don't tolerate, the things that I deal with, my worth. You know what I mean? And that's, I wish I probably can get an episode with him. That would be a good.
You should.
He's coming out here on the 14th,
That's what I'm saying.
because
But you go see him too.
Yeah.
So, but I would. I
But
would.
all in all, I feel like everyone needs both parents.
You do.
You know,
You
whether
do.
they're near or far,
Near or
whether their
far.
relationship is estranged
Yeah.
or not. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Because a mom can teach their children something and a dad can teach, you know?
Yeah.
As far as like for the single parents, I know that raising kids alone, because I did, you know,
Yeah.
partially of
Yeah.
Braylee's life, I was a single mom. And I mean, she's a girl. I think it'll be different for me if I had a boy, because I would feel,
He definitely needed
yeah,
to.
or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't, how can I say this? God knew that I needed little girls, because I feel like, especially with me wanting a boy first, I don't think that I could give everything to, you know what I mean?
Oh,
I might
boy.
be wrong,
No,
because I've
but
never had
I
a son,
understand what you're
but
saying. I do.
a woman can teach
Yeah.
their child different things, but I'm definitely grateful for my grandfather, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, for sure. But yeah. Anything else you want to say? No? Go ahead.
Plug.
What? Go
Day
ahead.
Ones.
Yeah.
I have a podcast out, me and my cousin, called Day Ones. That's DAEONES. It's out now, our first episode and
On
everything.
YouTube.
On YouTube and everything. And we will be
Yes.
having Destiny
Uh-oh.
and her BFF. Because basically it's Day Ones, it's best friends, best cousins, whatever you want to say. We're first cousins too, so, you know, yeah.
Yeah, check them out. They're giving a lot of good gems over there. They're dropping
Oh, we're trying
a
to.
lot of, you know, and I love what y'all doing too, because everyone has that one person, whether it be a first cousin, a friend,
a
or
friend or whatever
yeah,
it
so
is. Yeah,
that's
so,
a good idea.
It's just a podcast about best friends, giving their information and how
love
they
it.
grew up. Yeah,
I love it.
so, yeah.
Well, thank you, Uncle Chris, for dropping your gems and your
Thank you for
wisdom
having
today.
me.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Your
This is
journey
great.
as a dad has been remarkable, whether you think so or not.
And
Because
it's not over.
it's not. You still got something to help with.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for being on Momversations. I do have something, a goodie for you. I'll give it to you
Okay.
off air.
Okay.
Momversations has a new clothing line by the name of Mama Knows.
Oh, that's
I released the shirts for my Mother's Day event. So
Okay,
for
yeah.
June, I have some dad shirts. So
okay.
you'll be the first to, well, y'all be the first to rock
First
it.
to rock it. Okay. Yes.
Something for the dads, a little
Yes.
something. But yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for
thank you.
being on here and lending me some of your time out your
No,
day.
I appreciate that you invited me.
Yes,
I do.
definitely. Thank
I
you.
do. Thank
Make
you.
sure to like and subscribe to Momversations.
Yes.
I'll include the link for the Dad Knows shirts if you're a dad out there and you want to get you a little shirt to rock. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.